like, am I have money for taking donations for the Make-A-Wish Foundation and going out drinking that night? Yeah, I'd say you're a scumbag, yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to the Not For Nothing podcast, hosted by Christopher Michael and Robert Evan, discussing everything from relationships to everyday life struggles, culture, and much more.
So, who's ready for a game of Who's the Asshole?
You've never gone on and just read these?
Hosted by Robert Evan.
Am I the asshole with Robert Evan and Christopher Michael? Yeah, some of these are good. Some of these, yeah.
So what is this? I'm the asshole.
Yeah, you've never read them.
I've never read them. Honestly.
So I guess people with moral quandaries, they'll go on Reddit, and there's a whole subreddit, right? Doug, is what they call it, subreddit. So it's like Reddit's a website or an app, and then you'll type in, or you go to the "Am I the Asshole" page, and you'll type in like your.
So basically, something along the lines of like, "Why fuck this guy's wife?" But they were separated. Am I the asshole?
Yeah, that would be one. Of course, that's where you would go. So this one, am I the asshole for telling off someone with an emotional support animal?
Yeah, I'd say you're probably an asshole for that.
See, now people have voted that they're not the asshole. This is why you got to read the story.
But the whole thing is this: why are they telling them off for having an emotional support animal?
So here. Start, I have a service dog that is specifically trained for my medical condition. I have severe cardiac problems and honestly cannot even go to the grocery store without my dog.
Right.
I live with my husband, but he was working, so I had to go to the store to buy some things. I see someone with an emotional support animal who walked up to my dog, tried to pet him. I told her not to pet him. He is working, meaning taking care of her.
Right.
She said word for word, so is mine. I have anxiety and my dog goes everywhere with me. I'm glad my landlord can't kick me out since I have a service animal. I walked away trying to politely ignore her because it was clear it was not a service animal. This dog was in the cart and acting like a quote-unquote traditional dog. I go about my day until we get to self-checkout, and her dog starts growling at my dog, showing teeth, and she says, "Oh, stop it, you're so cute." Someone sticks up for my dog and says, "Emotional support is not a service dog." And she responds, "Yes, it is, by providing a service, yada, blah, blah, blah." I still ignore her. So essentially, this is kind of fucked up. So she said, I correct her and say, "You're likely you don't have a service dog, and it's not that your dog is not friendly." She literally called me a few names, but I walked out to my car. Admittedly, I yelled at her because I was furious. Her dog was showing aggression. Yelled, but I only said what I wrote. Should I have been nicer to her? Also, I kind of feel like I just have not said anything, but I also hate that people like her are so clueless about actual life-saving dogs. So essentially, her dog is an actual service dog.
Right.
And the other dog is an emotional support dog, which, again, I'm not saying they don't. But there's a lot of people who have emotional support dogs. You're just slapping a vest on them so you can bring your fucking dog in to Home Depot.
Or onto an airplane.
Right.
Right. Yes, I guess. I mean, it all depends. I mean, the thing is, it's hard to say without seeing how the confrontation went down exactly, because it's all hearsay at this point. But yeah, I guess if somebody's really, making the comparison to a life-saving service dog versus, a dog they drag around for their own personal moral support, I would say that they'd probably be within their rights to say something about it.
The ones on dogs I find fascinating because, love dogs.
Yeah, I love dogs too.
But yeah, if somebody has an actual service animal.
Well, you should never pet someone's dog without getting their permission first. One, you don't know how,
right.
They may not be friendly, so you're taking a chance doing it to begin with. And then you don't know. Some people, it's like somebody's kid sometimes, I mean, I had a crazy, so Marissa,
yeah, she
had a little Yorkie.
They're the worst.
Mean little fucker.
Yeah, little yappers.
And, but it was like her child, literally. And I had to laugh because I thought she was obviously a dick for saying this because it's not even close to the same thing to me. But don't get me wrong, I love dogs. I'm not saying that a dog is not treated like someone's child, but she decided to vocally make that comparison. And the woman went to pet the dog, and she goes, "Please don't do that. Do you see me trying to pet your son?" I was like, wow, dude. I was like, that's intense. That's intense.
Not wrong. So I mean, maybe it's not a great analogy.
Yeah, that's a hard comparison to make.
Yeah. But I guess maybe she was also being a little condescending by saying, look, it's not your fucking dog.
Yeah, no, I get it. I just think,
if she meant it as
you lose ground when you make things that extreme.
Yeah.
But so some people are very sensitive to things like that, and I get that.
You just don't pet dogs you don't know. We
Right.
went cherry picking with my dad when I was 11, 12. And my neighbor at the time, John, had come with us.
Right.
And I guess they had like a dog that, the owners of the property had sitting under a tree. And he goes up and pets it. He got his hand fucking snapped.
Did he?
Like,
Oh.
it got bit hard. And I remember being like 11 or 12 and even thinking back then, like, what the fuck are you doing? Petting a dog you don't know. Like, dude, it is an animal.
Yeah.
And I love dogs more than anything, dude. I love my dog more than I love 95% of people I know.
I think I love dogs more than people,
Yeah.
period. I think most people love dogs more than people, but
I don't trust people who don't like dogs. Unless you had like a bad experience with it. It's like,
yeah, I mean, I've had bad experience. I got bit by a pit bull when I was younger, but it never impacted me one way or the other. I still love dogs.
what if it's a traumatic thing? I get it. Just people are just like, I just don't like, I'm more of a cat person. I'm like, well, have fun living alone.
No, dude, I had to, my dog Buddha, who I love to death. He's like the sweetest boy. He's a pit bull. He's very protective of me and my ex. And he also is dog aggressive. He does not like other dogs except the ones he grew up with.
Sure.
So, this woman was just in our community one day and she's always walking her fucking dog off the leash. And this little fucker just keeps prancing around, running closer and closer to Buddha. And my ex Jordan is like, dude, he's not friendly. You got to get your dog. She's like just sitting on her phone, just still casually walking. The dog's getting quicker and quicker, walking toward Buddha. And now she's like yelling at her. She's like, you got to get the dog. You got to get the dog. He's not friendly. He's going to bite your dog.
Huh.
So she's still just casually walking to the fucking dog. And sure enough, he went up to the Buddha, who's on the leash now, super protective of Jordan, and the fucking dog got bit. I don't feel bad for her.
I
feel bad for the dog.
Yeah.
But the homeowner, the owner of the dog, is an asshole. Like, you have no regard for your dog. For one, your dog's 20 pounds. He's an 85-pound pit bull.
Yeah.
And we warned you from 150 feet away to run and get the dog.
I hate when people don't
Like,
walk their
it's
dog
like,
on a leash.
and especially if someone's screaming at you, he's not friendly. He's going to bite your dog.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, dude? I would sprint to my dog.
Now that Kenzie is older, we can't walk. She can't walk nearly as well. So we used to do, hiking a good amount or just go on trails like close to the house.
Right.
And when people wouldn't have their dog on a leash, Kenzie's pretty good with most dogs, but everything is great till it's not.
Right. Absolutely.
So what if I walked her off a leash and then she got bit in the neck by another fucking dog? Like what, in that situation you just explained, what would happen if you give a shit about your dog?
Right.
And this dog came over to Buddha and Buddha bit this dog's neck and killed it instantly. How is the owner of the dog that's now dead? How big of a piece of shit would you, and rightfully so, feel like?
I'd be furious. I'd be furious at them. I wouldn't be mad at my dog because
No.
I know my dog. So
That's why you walk her on a leash or him on a leash.
I would have been furious. I would have felt the guilt I would have felt over the dog being killed.
Exactly.
Like would be enough to make me fucking strangle that person because it's just such lack of regard for your animal. Like it's crazy,
Yeah.
and they're such like companions. You'd think you'd do anything. I'd give my life for I would. It might sound crazy. I'd give my life for my dog. I swear. I could never let anything happen to either of them. And their names are Sadie and Buddha, by the way. Just for that, we're going to throw some clips into this episode of them so you can see how unbelievable they are.
Going home tomorrow, and I'm so excited to see my dog.
Yeah, I know. And I'm leaving mine to go back to New York.
It does. It's the only thing I hate about it. I miss my dog and my bed in that order.
I used to drive her everywhere with me. Like when I used to drive back and forth from Florida, and I take her on every road trip. But she's getting older now. It's tougher for her to sit in the car.
Yeah,
for that long,
yeah.
So it's hard.
All right, so here we go. Another one with a dog. Am I the asshole for taking my neighbor's dog? New neighbors moved in about 3 weeks ago. Super chill, blah, blah, blah. We've hung out. Okay, cool. So they have a dog about the size of a Jack Russell. We never saw them interact with the dog. So they assumed it was a stray, and they were hanging out one day with the new couple that moved in with the dog. And they said, oh, no, it's ours. They just let them roam around. So they have a fenced-in yard, but they live near a busy road. A few days ago, I heard my neighborhood cats that I feed screaming, and the dog was chasing one and got a hold of one and was snapping at its leg. So she took the cat to the vet, told the neighbor what happened, and they said they had no control over what their dog does. So she called the pound and got their dog taken away. And now the couple who can't find their dog is posting all over Facebook asking where their dog isn't feel guilty. I don't want to tell them because I don't want the dog back. They're neglectful and it's a threat to the animals. So am I the asshole for calling the pound without telling them?
Yes.
Yeah, agreed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You are, in fact, an asshole. Huge asshole. I mean, listen, you can do what you want to do. You can call the pound on, a dog owner that's just not taking care of the animal or is just making it a hazard to the kids and maybe other dogs in the neighborhood. But you can need to tell them. I mean, you can't just fucking.
Well, also, I think with a pound, the likelihood of it getting euthanized.
Well, that's the other thing, right? If it's aggressive. So, yeah, you're an asshole.
If you bring a dog to the pound, you say because it's biting animals.
Yeah, I mean, you're an asshole, period. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I would never do something like that. Ever.
There's another one where there was a husband and wife. So they were married.
Right.
So the husband was asking, am I the asshole? So he goes to his wife's family house, and they're from the East Coast. Family lives out in California. And they'd been together a while, but married again. So he's met the family a few times. Didn't see them a whole lot because of the distance.
Right.
After the wedding, they go and stay at her family's house. They make a trip out to Cali, and they go and stay with the family.
Right.
Hanging out. The wife is connecting with, reconnecting with her mother and her sister. And the husband is watching football with the dad. Good evening.
Right.
And then, their sleeping arrangements. And the wife didn't tell the husband that you can't sleep in the same room as me. So they were going to make the husband sleep on the couch, even though they're married.
Right.
So he said,
her dog?
No dog involved.
Okay.
Just the family didn't want them sleeping in the same house.
I got a little mixed up because we were talking about dogs.
Yeah.
Good.
So he went and got a hotel, and now his wife won't speak to him because he didn't want to sleep on the couch.
It's a little childish.
Really?
I think so.
I feel opposite.
I mean, they didn't want them sleeping together because of their family values.
Right, but they're married.
I mean, listen, are you going to go get a hotel? I don't know. Yeah, you know what it is? I'm very passive about things like that when it comes to people's families. Chances are I knew how her family was before I married her. So, if you're going to take her for who she is.
Right, but what if you get there and they tell you?
I mean, listen, if they just did it out of the blue, which I doubt, he knew how they were before he married her. So at that point, you're marrying. When you marry someone, you marry their family.
And your opinion is wrong.
No, I'm just saying you do. So at the end of the day, if you weren't petty about it before, you shouldn't be petty about it after. You went into it knowing who her family was. You knew how they were. You knew what you were going to be dealing with. So you sleep on the fucking couch. Who cares? They're going to go home eventually. And you'll be back in bed with your wife.
And again, we need more context on this, but I would think, again, could be wrong.
Go ahead, let's go. Let's hear this.
All right. So if you go to somebody's house, your wife, family's house,
right,
and you're not planning on sleeping on the couch,
right,
and they drop a bombshell that you have to sleep on the couch when you're married, that's fucking childish to me.
I think that it's overstepping a boundary, but again, I'm a very firm believer that when you go into something with your eyes wide open and you know the woman that you're marrying and you know her family, then you should understand what you're in for. And if you go into it knowing that, then you should act accordingly.
I don't want to sleep on a couch.
I understand that. Then you shouldn't have married the woman who has the family
I'm not going to
disagree with.
I'm not going to not marry a woman because once every 6 years I go out to California, I have to sleep on a couch.
Exactly. That's my point. Once every 6 years, what's the big deal? You make the sacrifice to make her family happy.
What if he has a bad back?
Stop being dramatic. That's not what the story says.
He did. The story said he had a bad back.
Oh, the story said he has a bad back?
Hand of God.
All right. No, I mean, listen, it is what it is.
I'm not sleeping on a couch.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So we'll agree to disagree.
No, well, you're wrong. Am I the asshole for not giving my brother money that I raised for him while he was hospitalized?
Yes.
It's so you're gonna have to really redeem yourself.
Like, if I have money for taking donations for the Make-A-Wish Foundation and going out drinking that night,
I'd
say you're a scumbag. Yeah,
for stealing from the donation bin at church.
Right. It's like, am I an asshole for stealing from cancer patient? If I take their pain meds, am I a dick?
Not all of them, just some.
Just some. I just shorted them a week.
My brother was recently hospitalized, and I set up a GoFundMe to help him with his expenses. He's an introvert and doesn't have many friends, while I have a large following. All right, you sound a little cunty. The fundraiser was successful, and over 50% of the money was donated by people who only know me. Okay, but they donated it for your brother. Fine.
Right.
I'm going to pay bills with it. He has a history of being terrible with money. He now wants control of it. Am I the asshole for refusing to give him the cash, but rather pay ahead on all of his bills?
Yes. And what's her name so I can blast her right now?
So I'd want a little more context on this because what if she
Do they give names?
paid all of his, they'll usually give fake names.
Yeah. Okay. What's her fake name?
Ada Cad Alley. Adacadally.
At a cat alley, you're an asshole.
All right. So, but more
And you
context
don't, you
on
don't
this.
deserve to have a brother.
Wow. Jesus Christ. What if she just wants to pay his bills and then she'll give him the rest?
Yeah, I know you're kind of cherry picking parts out of that story.
Well, there's not enough context
That's a
in
very
here.
small portion of what she said, and that's not how she started it. So yeah, I mean, if he wasn't self-sufficient, which would mean he's not capable of paying a bill, then sure, you're looking out for his best interest. But to me, that would say he's got some kind of, maybe mental handicap, or he's slow, or whatever.
Maybe he's just not good with money.
Well, that's not for you to decide. You're not his fucking mother.
Well,
You're his
it's a
sister. And
public forum. I'm giving my opinion.
I'm just saying, and you raised money for him. He's not, that's not your responsibility. If he wants to blow his money, just don't raise money for him again. You can't raise money for him in his name and on his behalf and then not give it to him.
Agreed. But what if she wants to pay the bills and then give it to him? Would you be better with that? If she paid his medical expenses and gave him the difference, would you be okay with that?
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we need a little more context. Ada Cadali.
Well, maybe stop picking ones with so little context.
No, this is why
People
we have-
typically leave context out when they don't want to be judged.
Right, because you feel like they're leaving something
They're
out.
leaving something out,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, that's just too, she still sounds like an asshole. She gave enough context for that. How about am I an asshole for keying someone's car who blocked me into a spot?
Are you an asshole for keying somebody's car?
Exactly. Would you think somebody's an asshole if they get literally pinched into a spot by a dickhead and that person decides to go key their car?
So, just to clarify, if I
Literally could not get out of the spot.
so I park my car, I go in the grocery store, I
Somebody
come out,
blocks
and
you.
now somebody is parked so close to my car that I can't even get into my car.
Yeah, right.
Would I key their car?
Are you an asshole if you do?
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah, man. That's you're talking about potentially thousands of dollars worth of damage.
No, I agree.
Like,
You
I
should
listen.
never key someone's car.
It's a dick move.
If they fuck your wife, you can key their car.
Yeah,
Or
when
your
you can.
husband. Then you can take a bat to it.
But if you just park too close to something, because what if you park too close to somebody because the asshole next to you parked that close? I probably wouldn't park in that spot
Right.
because I wouldn't want to inconvenience somebody else.
Right.
But no, keying the car, like physically damaging property because of something as trivial as,
Right.
I got to wait 5 minutes now. That said, after 15 minutes, I'm calling a tow truck
Right. Yeah.
because, if they're parked that close, they're not in the lines.
Well, what are you going to do? You're going to just sit there all fucking day?
Yeah, 15 minutes, call a tow truck.
I guess you can give them a 15-minute courtesy.
Yeah, you know how you parked. You know what you did.
You know you had it coming.
Yeah, like,
You fucking had it coming.
You ever had your car towed?
I have, yeah.
Sucks.
Well, I've had my car towed for my own personal reasons, I guess, before. But I had my car towed and impounded for like 3 months once in New York City. It wasn't even my fault. It's when I swear I was a kid. When I was 17 or 16, 17 at the time. It was my third car. It's my Honda Prelude.
Oh, you had the Prelude.
Yeah, the
Forgot
Prelude.
about that.
And my parents, because nobody back in their day apparently ever paid a fucking parking ticket. So when they lived in Manhattan, they had just a ridiculous amount of parking tickets.
Your parents.
Right, that never got paid. And I don't know if it was a thing back then. I think now they'll suspend your license if you go long enough.
It's called the scoff law.
Yeah,
That's the term.
back then they didn't suspend your license. They just kept tacking it up and they'd boot you.
Yeah.
They caught you and saw that you had all that on your tag. So anyway, so this is like, they haven't lived in Manhattan now since I was born. So this is 17 years later. And they must have had like $3,000 in parking tickets. So I brought my car down to the city one day and they towed my car, took it to the impound lot, and they had that fucker for like 2 months. It was such a process to get out, and it was for like $3,700 in unpaid parking tickets.
Well, doesn't it
Dating
cost you to
back
have
to, like-
impounded though?
Huh?
Don't they charge you every
Yeah,
day
then
it's
they were
impounded?
charging every day. That
It's
it was
not
in
cheap either.
No, it's not. It's like $200 a day. It was ridiculous. Just kept.
It was like $12,000.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was something pretty ridiculous. It's pretty wacky.
At that point, the car's totaled.
Yeah, I guess you could look at it that way. Yeah, it was pretty wild. So thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. So yeah, that was my one horrible tow experience. They could have just booted the fucker, but I think they knew that they were going to hold on to it for a while.
Yeah, because you have a Prelude, you don't have money.
Yeah, right. This guy's got a Honda. We're gonna fucking milk it. That's it. $200 a day, ching ching.
The mafia,
Gotta
it's
pay
a
for those-
mafia, dude.
Huh?
The New York City, it's a mafia. Like that's extortion.
Yeah, no, they're crazy with their laws, dude.
I remember
Shit
I
they
worked
do.
in a restaurant. I was a general manager of a fast. Well, it wasn't fast food. It was like fast service restaurant, kind of
Right.
like a line style, like build your meal.
Right.
And in New York City, they have the food grades, which I think they have in a lot of cities now. But they have like the food grades that they have on the windows.
Right.
There was always a big deal. Like you needed to have an A. Like at least for me, and I'm not trying to be a snob, but if I saw like a B or C,
Yeah, you are. It's all right. We understand.
all right.
We all know your background, Robbie. Don't worry.
So health inspector comes, and I was down at another one of our locations down in the financial district. I
Right.
remember shot up in a cab, went to the other location I was managing in Midtown, and we got dinged on like three things. One, there was we had sauce containers to go that were under like Cambros, like third pans,
Right.
and water dripped on it, even though they were sealed.
Right.
And I can't remember the second thing, but the third thing was that the forks, to go forks, were facing up.
Right.
And so they said, well, it can cross contaminate, people can touch it, and
Right.
somebody could whip out their dick and piss in the bucket.
Smack you in the forehead with it.
Yeah, with the forks. So what's fucked up is you go to court because you want to contest them because
Right.
whatever the three violations were, it dropped us to a B.
Right.
So you go to court, you contest them, and mind you, this is 15 years ago. I don't know what the process is now.
Right.
So we go to court, and they're like, all right, yeah, no, we'll get rid of those two, but whatever, one of them's got to stick. So we're going to give you the A because,
Right.
we knocked these off your points,
Right.
bring you up to an A, but you have to pay the fine for all three of them.
Yeah, it's a money game.
So even though we're acknowledging that you shouldn't have been fined or dinged for these two, you're
Right.
still going to pay the fee.
Yeah.
You're buying the A.
You're buying the A. Yeah. I agree. Well, listen, that's how they make their money. City tax, baby. City tax.
And as much as I love New York City, it smells like hot trash.
That's what we call a 5-borough tax.
Ugh, dude. Trash
Yeah.
piles all over the city.
Speaking of restaurants, I'll tell you, I was in Nashville for my 40th. And we went to this fucking place in the airport to just sit down and have a burger. We got to the airport like 2.5 hours early. And I swear, what awful fucking service. But the icing on the cake, and I'm pretty like laid back. Like I don't really care. I mean, I was getting annoyed, but I would never bust their chops about it. But then I got annoyed because so he brought out a club soda, which I always order with lemon. So he brings the club soda out, no lemons. Right. So I was like, I asked for extra lemons. So I'm watching this guy. So keep in mind, we're actually sitting behind the bar, and the service bar area where all the fruit is in like my direct line of sight. So I don't know why I was looking over there. Thank God I was. And I just see him. He goes into the fruit bucket like with his hand in his palm, and he brings the lemons over to the table, and he puts them in my drink. I was like, dude.
He just raw dogged those lemons.
I'm like, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, bro, I'm not going to drink that, right? He goes, I'm sorry. He goes, there's something wrong with it? Does it not taste? I said, dude, you literally just put the fucking lemons into my drink from the palm of your hand. I goes, well, why would you think that that's okay?
Yeah, it'd be like if I grabbed your burger and handed it to you and said, eat this.
No, but the ice, like the best part about it, he goes, well, how should I have brought them to you? Like, are you fucking joking, dude? I said, for one, you should have brought them in the drink to start. I said, and you never heard of like out of sight, out of mind? I mean, if you're going to do something, at least give me the courtesy of fucking not letting me see
Not
you
being
do
so
it.
brazen about
Yeah,
it.
like seriously. How about take a fucking toothpick, pick it out like you're supposed to, and fucking put it in the drink?
Or put it on a plate.
Right. Like, how did I? But the question was like, I couldn't get over fucking stupid. The question was like, how else should I have brought them to you? Like, I don't know.
Squeezes
Like,
the lemons into your juice, throws the lemons against the wall and says, drink this, bitch.
Fuck out of here. I was like, holy shit, bro. Fucking dope. But
I miss working in restaurants, though.
Yeah, I used to love it, man.
It was like organized anarchy is the only way I could describe it. And I swear to God, when I have dreams, like stress dreams, it's me as a bartender
Right.
or when I wasn't a server for very long, but a bartender for longer, where like you're in the weeds and the tickets are printing out, like the shits won't stop going.
The expediting station.
Oh God, that we had in New York City Seamless Web,
Right.
and every time an order would come in, this voice would go Seamless Web, Seamless Web, and so we would start accepting delivery orders. We were in Midtown; it was all delivery, all office buildings.
Right.
At 10 a.m., we'd get like 70 orders coming at once, and we'd start prepping at 10. Seamless Web. So just fucking 70 times over every morning. Dude, it was the...
You dreamt about it? You had nightmares about it?
Nightmares about it, dude. You get those stress dreams. It's like, and that's why when I'm in a restaurant and I see somebody, like if a restaurant's packed and I see my server running around, legit breaking a sweat,
right? I
get it, dude. Like I've been there. Like take your time, do your thing. The kitchen's backed up. You're probably short-staffed. Half you guys are hungover.
Right.
Like I've been there. I'm cool with it.
This is rare that I didn't go into the restaurant hungover.
Right. You're 20 years old for the most part.
Yeah, I
like
know,
it's a young man's game.
What bugs me though? He's bugged me about customers like that. We're there to wait on you, but I'm not your fucking dog, dude.
Yeah.
Like chill the fuck out.
You know what? I can't. People when they snap
or when they whistle at bartenders.
Oh.
Let me tell you, if you ever don't want to have a drink served to you quick, whistle at a bartender.
We talked about that.
Fucking sit there all day.
Yeah. And they snap.
It's ridiculous.
Dude, I'll snap your fucking finger off.
Seriously.
Like, or
they go, hey.
I remember I was working at a bank.
I fucking heard you.
I had one woman who goes like this to me.
Oh.
And I went up to him. This was in front of my manager. I said, don't ever point your finger at me like that again. I said, I'm not a dog.
Right.
Like, don't ever do that. I don't know why that it's just it's like this thing of like, I'm better than. That makes sense. It's there. So like,
oh, right.
There. Like calling you over.
Yeah,
like,
no.
I have a fucking name tag on.
Right.
Like,
how about, excuse me, Robbie?
Yeah.
Can I have some help?
Hey, could you give me a hand?
Yeah,
Not
you.
Like, dude, I don't know why I can't stand.
Yeah, I get it.
The disrespect thing.
You know what it is? People have a really big sense of entitlement sometimes.
That's the word, entitlement.
Yeah, they are very entitled.
Yeah. Like, some people need to get smacked in the mouth.
Yeah, they do, for sure. I mean, listen, how hard is it? Like, I don't get it sometimes because it's really, for some reason, for some people, it's like a genuine struggle to conduct yourself like a normal human being.
In day-to-day life?
Yeah, and I don't understand why. It's like, if you can't be normal, like, just don't leave your house.
Stay inside.
Put newspaper in the windows.
Get DoorDash.
Right. Be a hoarder.
Instacart will bring you groceries.
Right.
DoorDash will bring you food.
Never grow out your beard. Ladies, grow out your armpit hair. Sit in the house.
Get a bunch of cats.
Get a bunch of cats. Get those TV dinners and stay the fuck home. Because it's really not that hard to be civilized. It's really not. It's the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Unless you're just a fucking scumbag.
I don't know if we talked about it. I think I was telling Doug and Jordan, that the first time you meet somebody, and I remember this happened in college a few times, but you meet somebody in college and it's like, you have your group of friends for the most part, but like, another college kid, like, it's somebody I could vibe. Oh, this person's pretty cool. And you're hanging out with them and then they make a racist comment and you're like, oh, there it is.
Right.
There it is.
I knew there was something off about
This
you.
is why I have three friends.
Now, it's crazy when people say off-color things. And
they do it with such confidence, though.
They do. And you get like weird reactions from them sometimes. Like if you don't laugh at something that they say. And it's like, there was this one guy, he just always made like just real off-color remarks. And wasn't a friend of mine. Just
like what? Like about women or races?
Women, or you make like, one too many racist jokes. And he'd be like, oh man, you're a tough crowd. I'm not really a tough crowd, dude. I just don't like what you have to say.
Yeah, just don't like your stupid fucking face.
Yeah, like, you're annoying and you say obnoxious things. And you're a racist. you're racist. You don't like women, whatever it is. Well, I forgot what he used to just go off on these tangents. And he'd say like the craziest things. I'd be like, dude, you're just not my kind of guy.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm not like that. I don't look at people that way. It's not my thing.
Like you, I like to think I can generally gauge pretty quickly. Like, is this someone I'm going to like, or is this someone that like,
I know pretty quickly if I'm going to like you. See, my biggest thing is like, I don't go out of my way to tell someone, hey, I don't like you, but it's pretty easy to read. Like if I don't like you, I don't like you. You can read it on me, for sure. So, and I feel like sometimes that's a better alternative, like to let people know. If you can let people know with body language, I think it's better than having to get into it with them.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know if I do it subconsciously. I think that's kind of like my defense mechanism to like stay the fuck away from it.
I'm pretty simple to read.
Yeah.
So like if you're like making a bunch of comments, like off color comments, you'll tell pretty quickly, like, we're probably not going to vibe.
Yeah, no.
Like I'm not your guy on this one. Like, do not look for me to support when you're getting jumped in the parking lot for all the off color shit you said today.
Right. You ever have somebody like come up to you like or say something real fucking stupid or just real fucked up, and they look at you like, right? Am I right, man? Like, no, dude.
God, I am not a part of this.
Like, you don't fucking bring me into this shit, bro. He's gonna smack you. He's gonna smack you real fucking hard. And you know what? I'm gonna have a front row seat to that shit, and I'm gonna enjoy it. All right. Don't fucking bring me into your bullshit.
What do you miss most about restaurants?
Everything. Honestly, I just miss the people. I say it all the time. Guys are going to get tired of hearing this. I do love talking to people. I think people are interesting.
Yeah.
So I enjoy that, the interaction with people, customers. I enjoy the camaraderie with wait staff, co-workers, colleagues, whatever you want to say.
It was always fun.
It was. I enjoy getting the chef mad with substitutions that I used to put in. I used to put in like crazy substitutions just to fuck with them. They weren't even real substitutions.
You put in like no pickles, extra pickles.
All right. Like extra salt. I mean, like he said he wants half the bottle of salt poured onto his burger. And his name was James. And I used to fuck with him all the time, dude. He's a funny guy. Stuff like that, like joking around, getting in trouble.
Yeah.
For stupid shit. I got in trouble for, so they had like a no, I forgot, what do they call it when you're not supposed to, so they don't want you fraternizing with each other in one of the restaurants that I worked in. So wait staff, coworkers are not allowed to fraternize with one another.
Date?
It was a
talk?
Date.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a rule. So, yeah, dude, I swear. But I used to hook up with this cocktail waitress, and I was not quiet about it at all. But I was really good at what I did there. So they very rarely would say something to me. And but sure enough, we hung out after. They actually made a rule that fucked everybody after this. Yeah, like they made the rule worse after this incident. So we hung out. We all used to hang out at this place after work and get just bombed. And then me and her just got real shit faced, and we started making out like this hallway that led to the bathroom, and there was this glass kind of partition between the wall and the walkway. And we just started making out right there. And sure enough, right above us to the left, to the right, were the cameras. So the head chef and the owner were upstairs in the office watching the cameras. And my phone just keeps going off. And I open it up and it's both of them. And they go, "We can see you, you fucking idiots." Bro, I was like, oh, fuck.
Did you wave to the camera?
Dude, no, we like skated off. The next day, they all brought us in for a staff meeting. And they're like, from now on, if you work, you are not allowed to hang out here anymore after work. You are only allowed in this venue to work or on your day off to drink.
Can't come in and hang out.
They fucked everybody after years. And they said, and you can thank such and such and Chris for this new wonderful rule that you all now have to abide by.
Called you guys right out.
They called us right out, dude. They were.
Well, I guess if you weren't quiet about it, then everyone knows everything
people
anyway.
Were so mad, dude. They're so mad because that was like we looked forward to. Because it was a great spot. Like,
yeah, you had a drink. That was always one of the fun things. You'd have a drink after work, relax, decompress, like sit with your coworkers. Yeah.
The reality of it is we all caused them grief, so it saved them a lot of headache, and it probably saved us a lot from losing our jobs. But yeah, it was for a while. It was getting a little out of control. It really was. But at least I was. You get complacent after a while.
That's the thing, dude.
You start to realize that nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
So then you just get more and more risky.
You get more and more ballsy.
You do. You get more ballsy. But and then you get drunk and you forget, oh, there's a camera here, there's a camera there, and you're like,
well, it's like kids, dude, like toddlers. Like if you don't correct negative behavior, it's gonna go unchecked.
Yeah. So that was definitely that was fun though.
So I have another one here for you, and I'm not even gonna read it for you. I'm gonna just read the intro sentence.
Cool.
And I think you can answer it. Am I the asshole for asking my coworker what would happen if I drank her breast milk? Yeah,
I would say you're. I don't know. I don't know if I would say you're an asshole.
No, you're the asshole.
I would say you're a little weird, but I guess it's kind of an asshole thing to ask.
It's definitely an asshole thing to
It's
ask.
a weird thing to ask. I'll say that.
So he didn't say, I want to drink. He said, what would happen if I drank it?
I guess you're an asshole. If those are the only options I have to be an asshole or not, then you're an asshole.
You had to lean one way.
I have to lean one. Yeah, for sure.
Why even say it?
You're painting me into a corner here. I feel like there's a lot of other classifications for that person. I'm just saying. I mean, seriously.
They're so fucking weird.
It's crazy, dude.
Why even at?
I don't know.
You know why? This is how I know he's an asshole. Because you can Google that question.
Right.
You don't have to ask the woman who just had a kid 3 weeks ago
who's
who's
still breastfeeding.
ripping fucking milk at work, very self-conscious about herself, I'm sure. You don't have to ask her. You just fucking Google what happens if an adult drinks breast milk.
There was a funny story on, I don't know why I just keep thinking of these things. So it has nothing to do with me. It was Mark Wahlberg was on, who's Graham Norton's show?
Yeah.
So he's on Graham Norton's show with an actress, and she goes, I actually met Mark Wahlberg. Yes, have you guys ever met? And she goes, yeah, we've actually met before. He probably doesn't remember. She's like, but I had just given childbirth, and I went to give him a hug, and I lactated all over his shirt.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that? How embarrassing.
At least she shared it. I think that's fucking
now I
funny.
give her a lot of credit. That's
No.
hilarious. He actually didn't remember it. And she's like, I'm sorry, I'll pay for your dry cleaning bill.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed about, but
No, I mean, I'm sure it happens every day.
am I the asshole for snitching on my classmates?
Yes. If you are a snitch, you are an asshole. That's why they have the phrase snitches get stitches.
Am I the asshole for blowing off plans with a friend for a career opportunity?
No, you're not. This is my opinion on it. And this is across the board for friends or strangers. Your friends are your friends. I'm sure they love you to death. But it's very rare that somebody is going to put anyone over a career opportunity, nor should you expect them to.
And I'd say it's also very rare that you get presented with career opportunities.
Right, absolutely.
They're not. I've been very fortunate and successful in the work I've done.
Right.
I've worked very hard to get. I still haven't had 76 career opportunities. I've had countless times to hang out with my friends.
Here's the way I look at it. I mean, if there's someone who's actually saying that because their friend did that to them, then you're not really their friend. Listen, if someone's your friend, they would 100% encourage you to take advantage of any career opportunity that comes your way far before they put pressure on you to hang out with them over it.
Right.
And if they don't do that, then you need to cut them loose.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes. That's the end of it.
Well, Chris, we're pretty in sync, my friend.
Well, I'm just saying. It's
We're rocking and rolling here.
Your friends are your friends for a reason, and that's just not a friend-like thing to do. So
you
are the asshole.
Anybody.
If you expect it, you're an asshole. If you give someone a hard time for it, you're a bigger asshole.
Am I the asshole for calling my friend a lame, insecure fuck? Probably.
I guess that would all depend on why you called them a lame, insecure fuck.
Yeah, like if they went out and called you a derogatory term, lame, insecure fuck, it's probably pretty simple.
Yeah, I guess.
Want me to read this one?
No.
All right.
Let's keep going. Let's move it on down.
I can't find it here, but there was one I read. It was, am I the asshole for moving my parents into my garage? And so there's context with it. So the guy had like a 4-bedroom house, nice house, but he had a separated garage, which he turned essentially into a mother-in-law suite.
Right.
So running water, bathroom, full bedroom, like nice rental place. So his parents, whatever their situation was, they, was either a nursing home because they were getting older or live in the house. And he said, yeah, absolutely. Come live with me. So he set up the house for them. So if I remember correctly, it was like a 4-bedroom house. One was his bedroom, him and his wife. Another one was an office space, like a professional office space where he would see clients. Right. Another one was his personal office space. And the fourth one was essentially, he said, kind of just like a spare bedroom, but he said really it was a bedroom for his dogs.
Okay.
But then I'm just not playing. I would say he's not the asshole because they're getting at no cost, an in-law suite. And you also want separation, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, if he built something private for them, I don't think he's an asshole for that.
Right. But he's saying that they got to the house and they were like, about to unpack and everything. And he was like, oh, yeah, we'll get you set up. And they're like, well, we thought we were living in the house. He's like, no, this is your space.
Right.
Like, that's why it's called a mother-in-law suite.
I've had enough of you. No, I mean, listen, if you go out of your way to really do something nice for them, like build it out, listen, it's a private space for them too. I think people have to understand. People get offended. Parents get offended sometimes. They love their kids. They expect them to want them to be close to them, and
Yeah.
So I understand where they're coming from.
But also, if I was a parent to it, I kind of also want my space, no?
Well, some parents impose a lot. That's true. They do.
Yeah.
What else you got for me, Robbie?
Am I the asshole for seemingly asking a guy, seemingly asking? See, you either did or you didn't. Am I the asshole for seemingly asking a guy to buy me and my friend, it's my friend and I, all right, my friend and I a drink? I, 19F, was out with some friends recently. We're at a club. We're in Canada. We're legal. So I guess the drinking age is 19. Currently in a relationship, so I was the wing woman to my friend, also 19. She spotted a guy she found attractive, was determined to get her, and I was determined to get her to talk to him. He was at the bar, and I suggested we do Have You Met Ted bit from How I Met Your Mother, which I don't know what that means. Seen the show, though. Cute show.
Yeah.
She said she needed some more liquid courage in her for that to happen, so they went to the bar, trying to decide what we get, and I figure why not ask the guy for a suggestion. I dragged my friend over to him, and then I went right up to him and asked for his opinion on what drink we should get. He then asked if we were paying, and I was so confused because, of course, I'll buy my own drink, so I didn't say anything right away. He then goes, "Unbelievable, you just come up to me and ask me to buy you a drink?" I started to say, "No, that's not what I meant at all," but he walked away.
So he is an asshole for assuming that that's what they were saying, if in fact that's what he did.
I kind of agree.
Which he sounds like he did.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? I think, listen, I hate to defend that, but I will say that you have to understand, ladies, that most guys are used to women coming up to them, expecting them to buy them drinks, which as they should. But if you're approached by the guy, should you ever go up to a guy and ask him to buy you a drink? No, you shouldn't. You just have no couth if you do something like that. So
yeah, again, entitlement.
It is. It's entitlement. Listen, if a guy comes up to you and he's a gentleman, he should buy you a drink, of course, dinner and anything else under the sun, especially if you're dating them. But yeah, you should never impose on somebody or imply or assume that they should have to buy you a drink, especially if they're not someone that approached you. Because that typically means they have no interest in you to begin with. So why would they do anything for you? Unless he was just being polite, in which case he still would have approached you.
Am I the asshole for joking about my mother's arthritis?
I guess it all depends on how you're doing it or whether or not she's sensitive to it.
Yeah.
I joke with my parents a lot, but they joke around a lot.
Am I the asshole for refusing to spend time with my parents until they give up smoking? Yes.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, you are. You won't see your parents
no.
because of their life choices that as adults they're making?
No, I mean, I understand that listen, their intentions behind it are good, though. So I wouldn't say they're assholes.
No.
I would say it's not up to them to try to force that kind of decision on somebody, especially your parents.
No. They smoke.
But their intentions are good.
You're not getting it. They smoke.
I'm not.
The parents smoke.
The parents smoke.
The son does not want to spend time with his parents until they quit smoking.
So I am getting it.
Explain your reasoning on me.
My reasoning is that their intentions are good.
What do you mean their intentions?
They want their parents to quit smoking.
Right. Oh, you're saying for...
Of course.
Okay.
So they're refusing to hang out with them until they do it. And I understand that. You don't want anything to happen to your parents.
I get it.
I understand you shouldn't be trying to force, your view on an adult, especially someone who's your parent.
Right.
But I wouldn't say they're assholes.
I would.
I would just say that they have the best of intentions behind it, but they're just probably going
I
about
get it, but
they're
if
going
you-
about it the wrong way.
Let's just
That's
say
all.
your parents smoked for 30 years.
Yes, it is not up to you to try to force the
Now,
hand
again, if
of
you're,
your parents.
if your parents are babysitting your child, their grandchild,
Right.
and they're smoking in the car with the toddlers in the back and the
Right.
windows closed, that's a problem.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I wouldn't say they were assholes. I would just say that their intentions are good, but they're handling it incorrectly. It's hard for me to say you're an asshole when you care about the life of your parents.
Again, road to hell's paved with good intentions.
Yeah, that's a little extreme of a statement.
You're not
for
going to
that.
see your parents because they smoke. I'm sure.
For
I'll say
one-
it this way.
All right.
I would bet a large sum of money your parents didn't just start picking up smoking
Yeah, I get, and I would bet a larger sum of money that would only last for so long
before
before they cave.
Yeah.
Of course. They're not going to let their parents spend the rest of their lives without talking to their fucking children because they smoke. They're trying to make a point that might fail and be lost on them. But at the end of the day, they're trying. So,
Or just let your parents smoke and shut the fuck up about
Well,
it.
you can't fault somebody for trying to save life and years on their parents. Nobody wants anything bad to happen to their
I
parents.
get it. I get
fault
that.
them for their intention.
But I could also say, you know what? They're adults and they're going to make their own choices.
Right.
And I need to be an adult and I need to respect their choices, even if I don't like it. So let me not see them because of my stupid little fucking hissy fit.
That's why I said they're handling it the wrong way. But I could never call somebody looking out for their parents an asshole.
Am I the asshole for asking a guy an awkward question?
No.
I, 18F, have known him, 18M, for a year now. Our parents are friends. Now, I was feeling playful and wanted to tease him a little. So yesterday I asked him how big his dick is.
I was just going to say, it all depends what the question is.
I will admit that I flirt and sleep around a lot. I didn't think he would be upset, but he seemed shocked I would ask something like that. So personal, turned bright red and said that since we aren't dating, I shouldn't ask him stuff like that. And I'm either wrong.
I mean, you should never ask somebody a personal question like that, period. No matter who you are or how playful you're being. I mean, I get it. Most guys probably wouldn't react that way to it, but it's an inappropriate question no matter how you look at it. I mean, if a guy went up to a girl and said, hey, is your vagina shaved? I'm pretty sure they'd be pretty fucking pissed.
See, that's a good point, though, because now is that a double standard?
It's a double standard. I don't know necessarily it's a double standard because I don't think it would be accepted in society from anybody's point of view.
Yeah.
One way or the other. So really a double standard would be that society accepts it one way, but not the other way. I think it's unacceptable from society's point of view,
so
period.
let me.
I think that the reality is the chances of a guy reacting better toward a question like that is a higher chance than a woman.
The guy, society. So let me paint this for you this way, right? So you're at a bar, crowded bar, cute girl comes up to you. She goes, how big is your dick? Right. You'd be like, ooh, what?
Well, that's a guy's reaction to it, though.
Now, if you went up to a girl and said, is your pussy shaved?
Right.
You'd be like, bouncers all around you in 3 minutes. Be like, dude, you got to go. You can't be here.
Well, you have to understand the power dynamic between men and women, though.
That's why I'm saying it's a double standard.
I don't know that it's a double standard, but there is a power dynamic at play, and it would be a much more aggressive comment coming from a guy. It just is, because you're a guy. Anything you say toward a woman like that is going to come off far more aggressive than a girl saying it to you.
But should it?
It should, because men can cause far more harm to a woman than a woman can cause to a guy.
I think it's a double standard. Why is it?
It's not a double standard. That's a fact.
I understand that men biologically and physically.
Right. So it comes off more aggressive when somebody has that level of power over you. It's just the dynamic of it. It's not a double standard. There's no way a guy can say something like that and not sound more aggressive than a woman. There's just no fucking way, dude.
There's some good ones on here. Am I the asshole for giving my bed to my dad's side chick?
Wait, side chick? I say your mother would think you're an asshole.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't know if I don't know what your relationship with your mom is, but it's not good now.
You'll be your dad's fucking hero for life. But your mom's gonna fucking smack some sense into you. There's definitely something going on there between the mother and daughter if the daughter's doing that, for sure.
Well, this could be a guy right now. Oh no, it's Rose. So it's the daughter.
Yeah, Rose, it's a little fucked up.
Am I the asshole for getting fed up with my girlfriend over throwing a plate against the wall?
A plate, like singular?
So I, 20M, made my girlfriend, 21F, breakfast. I took the time to make her 2 grilled sandwiches and asked her what drink she would. 2 grilled sandwiches for breakfast? The fuck are you guys eating? And asked her what drink she wants. She said, I asked, do you want coffee or orange juice or ice with water? She replied, all of the above. When I arrived upstairs to bring her the breakfast that she was working, I realized I forgot to bring the orange juice. Got extremely upset, telling me that I'm a dumbass. So it sounds like it's a healthy relationship. Right. For forgetting her orange juice that she specifically asked for.
They're getting married.
Yeah.
Sure. And divorced the next day.
They should get a dog or have a child and save the relationship. She went to throw a fit when I said I was not going back downstairs to get her orange juice. She threw the plate against the wall. The grilled sandwiches stuck to the wall. I got upset too and told her that she's spoiled. She then proceeded to throw the coffee mug at me. I had made her breakfast the entire week because she had a busy week at work. Yeah, it sounds like you're just in a very unhealthy relationship.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you won because you forgot the orange juice and just refused to go down and get it. I don't know why you would. But
Yeah, he was just fed up at that
yeah,
point.
her reaction to it's definitely a little off.
Throwing a plate against the
A
wall.
little off hinged, for sure. I would say so. I would say you should never throw any kind of fine dining ware at
Yeah.
your significant other. I had Kelly threw a spoon at me once. And
Spoon?
She threw a spoon and she threw it so hard.
I like whipped it.
Like fucking whipped it. And it literally, the point back end of it went right through the back of my couch. just stuck through it, dude.
Like a leather couch.
It was like a microfiber.
And it just literally pierced
Just
the couch
pierced
right through.
right through it. She threw that shit with some velocity, dude.
Damn, fucking me.
Oh,
Yankees
man.
need a reliever.
Seriously. You know, closing pitcher. Kelly K.
Am I the asshole for not pronouncing my friend's child name correctly? Yes.
If he corrected you, no, I can't just say yes. How many times have you corrected him?
I have a friend with a daughter named Anastasia. I frequently pronounce the name with an Eastern European cadence, and it legitimately makes my friend upset.
No, you're not an asshole if it's because of your accent.
He didn't say accent. He said he just pronounces it with an Eastern European cadence.
Which means
Anastasia.
accent.
So instead of saying Anastasia, he says Anastasia.
Well,
Not-
it all depends.
It's like saying Porsche or Portia.
Yeah, not really, but yeah, kind of, I guess.
Well, exact same thing. Right? Right? Would I be the asshole if I ask my family for better gifts this Christmas and for my birthday?
Yeah. No, I don't think so, actually.
For asking for gifts?
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it would be an asshole thing to say. But I'll be honest, I got some shitty gifts in my life from my family, mainly my extended family. I can't say my immediate family. They've always been great. But you know what it is? It's kind of just like some people just don't put thought into things, and you know they didn't, so it's obnoxious. But yeah, I used to get like, I'm telling you, till I was like 15 years old, one of my aunts used to literally, don't get me wrong, I love her. I love all my family. But no joke, till we were like 15, 16 years old, she'd buy us like these 50-piece puzzles. Not even like, and they always said
Not even the good puzzles.
They always said from ages 3 to 6. It's like, dude, at least get me one that's like, 1,000 pieces, something my age. I used to get like puzzle pieces like the size of fucking like checkerboard squares.
Yeah.
Like,
It was always like a cat wearing a sweater.
It took you like 2 seconds to put the puzzle together. I used to struggle at 3 and 6. Then at 16, I could put the puzzle together in like 2 minutes. So I didn't even upgrade the puzzle. So I have mixed feelings on that. Another late night. I think we're finishing up now, like 12:30. Jeez. We got to fly to New York tomorrow morning, man.
Go home, see my doggy.
Yeah, 5 a.m.
Not wait to see my dog.
So again, thank you guys. One more episode down. We're going to keep going. We still got plenty of great content for you.
I think we're going to have a few guests lined up.
Yeah, we do. Next month, we got quite a few guests lined up. So keep following our social media. Keep giving us feedback. You can find us on IG at notfornothing.podcast and TikTok at notfornothingpodcast, as well as YouTube, Not For Nothing Podcast. And all of our episodes are streamed on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. So definitely check them out. Guys, girls, thank you. We appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Later, brother.
Deuces.